me coming here will get sorted. So a lot has been told about me, but I will take 2 minutes to tell something about the place where I came from. So my name is Namratha Kaushik and I come from a very small place called Roorkee in Uttarakhand, which is in the district Haridwar of the country. Now Roorkee is a very small town and it has got a lot of firsts to its credit. It has got its first engineering college, which was known as Asia's first, which was initially called Thomson Engineering College, but today it is called IIT Roorkee. The second first is that it was the first town which used the hydroelectricity at the forum. It was the first town which got its first telegraphic office. Now it is also home to our oldest military establishment of the country, which is Roorkee Cantonment. Also it is home for Bengal Educational Institute, which is Bengal Sappers. And also it has got the first hydroduct of the country. Now you must be wondering that I'm here to talk about myself and my life journey. Why am I talking about Roorkee? And the reason is very clear, because Roorkee, despite being a very small size town, has made remarkable impact on the various achievements of the country as a whole. Now how does that help me? Because Roorkee, in its own establishment, gave me 2 very important life lessons and 2 tools, which actually eventually you'll get to know how they help me excel in the life or achieve whatever I have achieved today. So coming back to Roorkee, now it is very fashionable in Roorkee to do multiple things parallelly through effective time management. And that brings me to the 2 life lessons that the place told me. One is discipline and the second one is effective time management. So there, everybody's life revolves with a clock. So the way their schedules are set up is very much determined by how the clock runs. And it is a way of life there. So people take a lot of pride in saying that I'm doing this, despite my regular job or regular profession or business, because I'm effectively using my time. And the same impacted me because my parents also being very well disciplined and living by the clock. They instilled this value of time management in me. And because of that, by the time I graduated or I did my schooling from that day, so by the time I reached my 12th standard, I had already done my post-graduation in Kathak. I had learned how to play all the instruments that were there. I was learning martial arts. I was also learning swimming. At the same time, I was a first bencher student. I was doing very good at the school. So my schooling happened in a typical convent where the first thing that they taught was how to value the quality that you present. So I remember my teachers saying that if you present a piece of paper to anybody for any data, introduction, or any information, please remember that it is a part of you that you are offering to the other person for their judgment. So make sure that the value is topmost. Now, 12th, in the school, every weekend we had all sorts of competitions, singing, dancing, art making, craft making, salad making, rangoli making, and I was all there. I was all able to do it. Plus, I was a blue-eyed kid for the teachers because I never let my grades slip, thanks to the community there, thanks to my parents, thanks to everything that was taught. Then I got selected in my engineering. Things were very hunky-dory there also because there I was very active in various festivals, youth festivals, and various curricular-related activities. And so much so that I then gradually got into MBA. Now, MBA was even more eventful because I topped my college. At the same time, I was a position holder in the university. And finally, also in my MBA, I was a hospital secretary. So everything was hunky-dory for me till that time. Now, I was also awarded for the summer training that I did in the organization where I did my summer training. And I was so impressed by the pieces and the study that I did there, that they especially came for the first time in my institute for the campus placement. And I was picked up even before my final year results were published. So too much of me, myself, and I. So how many of you are thinking that life is set till this time? How many? I've been speaking for the last 5 minutes. So raise your hands please. How many still think that there was something more to achieve? Right? How many feel that I was still on the right track? Good. So let me tell you, yes, I was on the right track. Things were really happening for me because right after my placement in the first organization, I was picked up in one of the biggest organizations within 6 months. It was Honda CL Cars India Limited, and I was earning a 6-figure salary. They put me into a esteemed team which was responsible for launching Honda Accord in India. So I was already promoted. So everything was really going by the definition of success for me. My colleagues were like saying, "They were like, set okay, MBA ho gaya, job opportunity mili." Now I will ask one more question. How many people in this students? How many students feel that once they get the right kind of break in corporate or business, that is when the wheel will start rolling? How many of you think that? Guys, show me some hands. How many think that you just need the right kind of break to start off with your professional journeys? None? Yes? Maybe? Do you think that you just need the right kind of break to prove your talent? Guys, say something. Yes, no, maybe, what? No, you don't need a break. Then, after MBA, what? Yes? Yeah, so I think our definitions of success are different from every person. But majority of people across in all institutes whether they are A-grade institutes or B-grade institutes, or even the top institutes, even the IIT, IIM graduates wait for the campus placement. How many of you are not waiting for the campus placement? So that means all of you are waiting for campus placements, right? Right? So now that is where everybody feels that if you are picked up by the right organization with the right salary package, your journey of professional success starts there. And even I felt so. So I was studying for Rainbow when people were saying that, okay, now you have been picked up with the best organization, you are earning the best salary, you are doing the best project. So now there is nothing more you can ask for, because from there, usually the journey is that the more you work hard, you achieve more. That's a very simple calculation of the corporate world. And then opportunities keep coming to you, they keep testing you on various parameters, you keep excelling and go ahead. That was the cycle which was imagined for me also. But that is when, at the same time, after 2 years of successfully working in Honda CR cars, my life hit the rock bottom. And when I say rock bottom, I will tell you the definition of rock bottom also here. My marriage brought me to Bangalore, and here the job market was totally different from what it was in Delhi. So here, all my past achievements were zero. All my accolades had no value. None of my talent, for which I was, in my school college days, I was called Harfan Mola. If this term is easily understood by everybody, I will tell you Harfan Mola is a Urdu word where it means Har is everything, Fun is talent, Mola is expert. So a person who is an expert in almost all the talents is called Harfan Mola. So from Harfan Mola to being tagged as a loser, because I was not able to prove that whatever I had earned in terms of accolades, in terms of my professional qualification or my usual qualification was of any value to Bangalore. And it was this time when, not even professionally, but personally also, I came under the scanner. So everything about me came under scanner. The way I talk, the way I walk, what I eat, what are the color choices that I have, what is the routine I follow, what are the festivals I celebrate, who I talk to, what is my qualification, which school I studied from, which university I hailed from, and so much so that even the question of hailing from Roorkee was a big question mark for everybody. And that is when everything, when it was under the scanner, I felt that these were the chains which were coming to me from all directions, and I felt that somewhere or the other they were more powerful than me. So that was the time I had anybody for that matter. It was a very difficult situation for me, because being tagged as a performer or getting all the appreciation from all walks of society, straight away cut to phase 2, where everybody is questioning the talent or questioning the qualification also, even professionally or personally. So it was a big blow to me. I had got 2 choices at that time, very clearly. Those 2 choices were, first, given to the doubts that people had in me and drown into a time of self-doubt. That was the first choice, which was very, very easy. Because if the number of people surrounding you are more in terms of putting a question mark on you, then the self-doubt comes very easily. Or the second option was to rise from the ashes like Phoenix. And very conveniently, without a second thought, I chose the latter, because I wanted to be Phoenix. I wanted to rise again. Now, these are big words. These are definitions which sound very flashy and glossy when I'm saying it, but it is easier said than done. How did I do it? How was I able to manage it? So, if you all, and I'm sure you must be knowing Martin Luther King's words, when he says, if you cannot fly, you walk. Or run, sorry. If you cannot fly, you run. If you cannot run, you walk. If you cannot walk at all, please crawl. And by any chance, you should just move forward. Keep moving forward. And with that thing in my mind, I restarted my qualification. I got enrolled into CFA, which is Chartered Financial Analyst. And at the same time, I joined an insurance company as their salesperson. Now, CFA, I'm a marketing and finance person with an international finance dual diploma. Finance came to me only to the extent of whatever it was being taught in MBA. But CFA demanded me to complete the course of BCom and MCom for clearing their 2 first papers. So you can imagine, and I had a full-time job in insurance company. So now please take 2 minutes to imagine that it was a new place for me. It was totally a different job market. I had no friends, relatives or anybody who could guide me. I had no conveyance also. And when I was in Honda, I used to be in a chauffeur-driven imported Honda which used to take me back and forth to the office. And from there being pushed into autos, selling insurances worth 800 rupees per annum EMI. From the comfort, AC comforts of the VVIP cabins in Honda CR cars to distributing pamphlets in front of the ATMs, propagating the importance of insurance. So life had come full circle for me. There were individuals who used to say, why don't you give up? You have got best of qualification, you have got medals at home, everybody knows you are a performer. Why are you hell-bent to prove yourself right from scratch? And when I mean scratch, again, if you do MBA and you already work for 2.5 years, 3 years, you feel you are already set in your career. There is nothing more that you can do. Now there is already an upward curve, there is no down curve. But here I was just dropped like a hot potato. And I had to start all over again. It was a very challenging time. And I didn't stop because I personally feel life is a test which you can never be prepared for. You can never ever be prepared for what life has to test you with. And this is when I think two things, I told you about two things in the beginning. One was the life lessons, which Rudy gave me as a native place. And there were two tools. And those two tools helped me crawl in this very low phase of my life. They were number one, gratitude, and number two is delusion. The art of delusion. Gratitude, when nothing is working in your favor, when nothing is as per what your aspirations are, the gratitude should kick in. That at least you are breathing, at least you are thinking, at least you are searching for the ways. Right way might come to you sooner or later. But gratitude that there are people around. You are still not stranded in an unpopulated island. Right? Delusion. Did anybody of you understand what delusion means? Delusion? Confusion? What? Delusion? Confusion? Shall I clear it for you? So delusion, what delusion means is that there is always a higher self of yours which you imagine yourself. In your hours of desperation also, you don't lose hope. And there were two things, my spiritual anchor. Now for me, Hinduism is a spiritual anchor that I have. I'm sure everybody will have. ऐसा कहते हैं बहुत मुसीबत आती है तभी भगवान जी याद आते हैं, correct? बिल्कुल याद आते हैं, right? तो भगवान को याद करने का the benefit of remembering a deity and being on your spiritual anchor is that you don't forget your self-worth. Despite people saying negative things about you, you will never lose your self-worth. At the same time, you start respecting people who are putting you down because these are not the people who have a bigger list of achievements than you. These are the people who maybe they don't even have a list, but they have this power in them to put you down as and when they are able to. So when you are having that spiritual anchor in place, you will be able to respect yourself. At the same time, you will be able to respect them because they also are performing a role in the bigger scheme of things that God has for you. So with that positivity, that thought process, my delusional self, so I would like to think in those hours of desperation where I was starting my qualification, my job profile was 10 positions lower than what I had started my career with. There were demands from the family. I was a newlywed person, so there were expectations that I had to match. And this tenure was 4-year tenure, where my delusional self used to come to me every time and tell me, one day you will shut everybody up. One day you will achieve what you are supposed to, what you are destined to do. Just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. And these 4 years, I will be very candid, there were n number of times where I just broke. I just broke down. Because in my mind, I had really worked very hard to get all those certificates, accolades, medals, and positions in the university. And I thought that they are enough for me to make myself successful, but it was not. But then, that confidence in myself that it will happen. I got my first break in, I was doing freelancing first before that. So software, shift to software was very common because in Bangalore only two things are working, sales and software. Sales I had no experience with, but I was getting that experience through my financial company. The software bit of it, I had to make the jump, so I was taking various certifications. And after a tenure of 4.5 years, I just ensured that there was no gap in my career profile. And I got my first break from there. And I joined as a consultant in one of the mid-sized companies as a PO consultant. And within 1 week, I was sent to Alaska as the project manager for their organization. So from there, my journey started. And I will just conclude by saying that many years earlier, if Walter Brothers or Bernie Brothers had told the world that humans can fly, Elon Musk is thinking that humanity can still go to the planet Mars, and there are people who are ridiculing him. So people ridicule. They first of all will fight you, they will put you down, they will try to control you, but ultimately you will change the world. So with that, I will just say that please trust yourself, be your delusional self right from today, and break all the chains because when you do that, even your spiritual self is supported. Thank you very much.